Hello people of the internet and beyond, it's Animator 101, and today is my review of War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, this film has been on my highly anticipated movies of 2017, along with Wonder Woman and Baby Driver, which I also did see earlier this year, and I thought Wonder Woman and Baby Driver were just fantastic movies. Before I saw this movie, I thought Baby Driver was the best film of the summer. However, little did I know that was going to be completely debunked by War for the Planet of the Apes. This film has solidified the fact that the Planet of the Apes movies, this prequel trilogy, is one of the best modern film trilogies. I would actually go as far as to say it is probably one of the best movie trilogies of all time. And what's even more amazing is that when you even think about the idea of, oh, there are probably a lot of good prequel movie trilogies. Well, in actuality, that's not really true. For Star Wars, the prequel trilogy wasn't all that great, and for Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit trilogy was pretty mediocre. And that's why this Planet of the Apes trilogy is just that more impressive. It really is an amazing trilogy, and this movie is beyond phenomenal. So I'm going to break down for you why this movie is honestly a must-see for film goers and casual goers just in general. First of all, we gotta talk about the special effects in this movie, the visual effects in this movie. Wow. The visual effects in this movie are so good that there are parts of this movie that I thought I was looking at real life. Like, I'm not even joking. This movie has amazing visual effects. Even if you've seen the trailers, you know that this film just has amazing visual effects, and I cannot express the love that I have for the visual effects in this movie, being that I've done visual effects before and I know how difficult it is to pull off a lot of the shots in this movie. And I'm just amazed on how good everything is. Like, this film, the visual effects in this film are so good that whenever I watch another film produced by Hollywood, I'm expecting AAA visual effects up to the standard of this trilogy. And honestly, I feel like I'm not going to get it because these films are just too good. And that's in part to the fantastic direction by Matt Reeves, who also directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. His direction is haunting, intense, and thrilling. There are a lot of scenes in this film where the intensity is just heightened and things just get more gruesome and more violent. It's everything that I would want from a Last of Us movie. As weird of a comparison as that is, in The Last of Us there's a lot of intense moments, there's a lot of gruesome scenes, a lot of violence, but it all builds up to a coherent story. And that's what makes these Planet of the Apes films so enticing, so interesting, is the story of Caesar and his evolution, if you will, of his character and how he is in the beginning of Rise of the Planet of the Apes and how he is now at the end of War for the Planet of the Apes. Because in this film, Caesar is dealing with a lot of internal conflict. This isn't the same Caesar from Rise or from Dawn. He's recuperating all of the past events, and he's just growing with every single conflict that he has within him. And all of this is just heightened even more by Andy Serkis's beautiful performance as Caesar. I said this for Dawn. I said this to my friends when Dawn for the Planet of the Apes came out. And I said, if Andy Serkis doesn't get a nomination for Best Actor, I will probably respect the Oscars even less. And honestly, I'm going to say the same thing here, because Andy Serkis gives such an amazing performance as an ape, really, that other actors got to start taking notes, because Andy Serkis has always been such an amazing actor for mocap. Mocap, which is just animation, but he actually has to do all the actions in the movie. Andy Serkis had to wear a suit, and he had to do every single action in this movie. He had to perform every single facial expression in this movie. And when you think about that, then it really brings to your attention how much detail is in this performance. It's not to say that Woody Harrelson didn't do a fantastic job as the Colonel in this movie, as the lead, you know, the quote-unquote villain of this film. Also, I should probably mention Steve Zahn in this movie as Bad Ape. Pretty funny. Like, the dude cracked me up a lot in this movie. That was something I was really worried about. This film was going to be completely dark 100% of the time, but Bad Ape made some scenes more lighthearted and a contrast to the dark, grim atmosphere of this movie as a whole. There are a lot of dark things that happen in this movie, and I gotta stress this point: if you do not like intense, gruesome, and just really thrilling movies, this film is not for you. But if this is the last film of all the Planet of the Apes movies, I will tell you right now, this is a great conclusion to the trilogy. The cinematography in this movie as well is beautiful. Again, I'm going to draw back to Last of Us. There's a lot of scenes in this film that reminded me so much of Last of Us. There are places in the snow, in the desert, in the rainforest. It just, I don't know, I keep drawing comparisons to Last of Us because of the overall arcing theme of revenge, of who am I, what does humanity do now that a threat has come upon us. It really is such an awesome movie. It's such an achievement, really. The fact that we can get an amazing trilogy like this Planet of the Apes trilogy and an amazing movie like this one really goes to show that Hollywood really has to start stepping up their game, because this is a shining example of how to do a prequel trilogy right. And this film honestly is so good that I can't really think of any negatives, like, at all. I've seen some amazing films this year. I've seen Get Out, Wonder Woman, and Baby Driver. None of those films even compare to War for the Planet of the Apes. We're honestly not gonna regret it. This film is just so good. I can't stop thinking about this movie. And honestly, I'm not even gonna give this film a rating, because this film, I mean, if you can tell by what I've said, I don't even think you need a rating. Please, just go and watch it. Just go. Like, it's like, why are you still watching the video? Like, come on, just go and watch the movie. Like, I don't care if you bootleg it, just watch it. Just watch it. Actually, I don't encourage watching a bootleg. Watch it in the theaters. Dolby Digital. You watch it in a Dolby theater. It's literally the best way to watch it, alright? Like, I'm done. Okay? Like, just watch the movie.